This is the Warminster Town Football Club Supporter Podcast. This is the podcast by supporters for supporters. We bring you match reports, interviews, and much more. We travel both home and away to bring you the excitement of non-league football to wherever you are. Coming up in this week's episode of the Warminster Town Football Club Supporter Podcast, we're going to do our usual match review, league reports, but we're also pleased that we have a special guest of the week. So don't go away, find out who that is, coming up soon. So it's back to that time of the week, podcast time, when we review our previous matches. And we have Jamie on the line. Good evening, Jamie.
Evening.
So we've had an interesting couple of days of football. We didn't have any football on Saturday when Lebec was supposed to come along to Weymouth Street, but sadly they had some COVID issues, so they couldn't make it. But it did leave us with Sunday and Monday. So perhaps you'd like to review what happened on Sunday, first of all.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a busy weekend of football. Unfortunately, as you say, Lebec, unfortunately, were not able to come to us in the end due to matters out of their control. But we still got 2 days in a row of football, which was very nice. So yeah, we had a girls' game at home, a ladies' game, should I say, at home on Sunday afternoon, hosting bottom of the league Calm, which the girls ran out 14-0 winners, which is not something you see every day in the world of football, but there it is. Managed to keep their first clean sheet of the season as well, which is brilliant. They're also still unbeaten as it is at the moment, with 5 games played, 4 wins and 1 draw. So we're kind of level pegging with Chippenham at the moment. Chippenham Ladies, who are currently top with an extra game played. Yeah, very, very good win for the girls. You know, it's obviously really boosting up the goal difference. And yeah, it was a really good game. I mean, obviously, Warminster dominated. You know, the scoreline says it all, really. But you know, you got to give credit to Calm. They didn't, hang their heads or give up. So you got to give credit to them where it's due.
That's right. I mean, they gave it their best. Obviously, their best wasn't good enough. But to be 9-0 down at half time, then still come out and try and play your football. In fact, they probably played a little bit better towards the end of the first half and through to the second, but they didn't spend much time in Warminster's half due to the dominance of Warminster Ladies, which is, is great. So I know there'll be tougher teams to face, and they have faced tougher teams, but it's looking fairly good for the ladies in the league.
It is.
So Monday night, an unusual evening for football for Western League, but we had a Monday night game. We travelled down to Wells City. So just run us through what happened down there.
Yeah, it's just a very unusual evening for a football game on a Monday night. But that said, there was a good crowd there. I don't know the exact attendance figures. I haven't found that out. But I imagine it was probably well over 100, I would have thought. So yeah, nice big crowd there watching. Wells have been kind of one of the teams to beat in the last couple of seasons. Well, certainly as of last season, because I believe they got a few players from higher up teams last season. And I can't remember what the score was when we last went there. 3-2. I think we lost 3-2 last season when we travelled there. So, we were looking for a turnaround and we did it. Wells have had a kind of mixed start to the season. They've played 8 games. They've won 4, they've drawn 1, and they've lost 3. So, they've had a bit of both sides of the results. And it was a fairly even game, I suppose, in the first sort of 20-30 minutes. Wells were looking probably a bit more dominant, perhaps not surprising, than playing at home. But once Warminster got a goal, and a very good goal it was. Martin Johnson again at the tapping inside the box. Wells kind of fell apart a little bit. I thought they kind of maybe lost a bit of their composure, and then this Warminster then got their second, and that was probably one of the best goals of the game. A fantastic ping across the pitch from Martin Johnson for Joel Sisson to hit an absolute bullet of a header. And the keeper just far too hot to handle, and he couldn't keep it out. So, yeah, that put us 2-0 up. Then Wales got one back. Rather like last season, they were looking a bit dangerous from set pieces. But fortunately, we managed to deal with them. And then we rounded it out in the second half, where we were, all over them in the second half. And Francois Allen again getting on the score sheet. Again, Jill Sisson involved, an excellent through ball. And Francois Allen ran in behind, took it first time, passed the keeper into the bottom corner. Another beautifully worked goal. And it ended 3-1. So a good game from Warminster, a very, very good game.
Yeah, and there could have probably been a couple of others as well, which didn't come to be. But I know Harry Barnes had 3 strikes at one, and it eventually came off the post, didn't it?
It did, yes.
It was, yeah. And then mysteriously one just never went in. I don't know how that went across the goal and never went in, but it could have been easier.
Yeah, I don't know quite what happened there. I haven't actually watched that one back yet.
Yes, still can't make it out having looked at it. But it was a good game of football. It was a good test. Wales are a strong side, and I think they just went a little bit out of shape because they brought 3 subs on in trying to get that 1 goal deficit back, and they just chucked everybody on.
Yes.
And that just knocked their shape out a little bit, and it got a little bit easier for Warminster towards the end of the match. Plus, they lost a player through injury, so they were down to 10 the last 7 or 8 minutes, maybe a bit longer. So it was more comfortable at the end than it would otherwise perhaps would have been. But a great game of football to watch, and one which was a good test for Warminster, really, because we'll talk about it later. We've got a bit of a tougher test coming up at the weekend. So thanks for that review, Jamie. We'll be back with you shortly, but after our guest of the week, and we'll take a look at the league tables and the matches that are coming up. Coming up next, it's our guest of the week. Well, we're delighted that our guest of the week is Lewis Graham. So welcome to the podcast, Lewis.
Hi, Roland. Thank you for having me.
Oh, a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. So really, Lewis, we'd just like for you to tell us a little bit about how you came to be playing for Warminster Town. And then we've got a few other things we can talk about after that as well. So just give us a little brief life history of playing football.
So obviously I used to live down near sort of Portsmouth way when I was younger, sort of 7, 8 years old, maybe even younger than that, to be fair. I was playing for the Bournemouth Academy for a little bit, and then we moved here when I was quite young, probably around 18 years ago now, moved to Warminster. And then since then, really, I've just played local football. I've just played for the Highbury Youth setup from whatever it was, under 8s, under 9s, right the way through to eventually playing sort of under 18s. But we didn't really have a Warminster Town under 18s back then, so it was Warminster United. And then I played county level, Wiltshire County under 18s when I was 17, 18. And before sort of being, Tommy O'Brien was the manager of the town when I first got my call up, if you like. I played a few games for the reserves when I was 16. Made my debut for the first team when I was 16. So yeah, it's been 10 years strong now at Warminster Town. So yeah, it's going well. But yeah, that's how I got there, really.
Oh, good. When I first started coming to Warminster a few years ago, you were always on the left wing, and since then you've been moved into defence, which I think really suits you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, really, because I always used to play sort of. I mean, I've played every position. I've always been like a little bit of a utility, but so ever since I was younger, I was always playing up front. I was playing on the wing, attacking, scoring goals. I think even when I was 19, I think I finished top goal scorer for the first team, and then I'd never played up front since. So so I'm not sure what's happened, but yeah, eventually I've ended up sort of playing right back, and now obviously centre back. But I think as any of the lads will tell you, I'm quite an attacking centre back, as you've probably seen with the way I play. I like to get forward and attack where I can, create, try and score. I think the modern day centre back, I think you could say. But yeah, it's a bit of a difference to playing up front. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's good. Well, there's a lesson to any would-be striker: become top goal scorer and finish up as a defender.
maybe a little bit of a weird transition to go to, but yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, well, I think you do very well in that position. And saying the fact you can actually come forward as well and have that goal scoring ability can really sort of strike fear into other teams, because when you come forward, they'll start to know that, hang on a minute, we've got somebody who can score goals here as well to defend against, and it can, maybe make space for other players as well. So it's all good stuff.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's yeah, it gives another sort of dimension to the attack as well, doesn't it? And then most people sort of know when I'm about to go on a run. I think normally, like, you've got Ski or Churty who will sit in and play centre back while I go on a little run forward. So there's always cover there. So yeah, it's good. It's good to have the teammates that know what I'm about, I suppose.
That's it. All gels together nicely, doesn't it? So thinking about the team, we're doing well this season. A great start. How do you see the team moving forward? The team we've got now.
Really good start. Obviously, what are we in 7 games now? 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Yeah, I think we've got a nice mix of players. We've got a few of the older heads, the more experienced lads like myself, Jeffers, Jordan, a few other lads that have played Western League football now for a good few years. They know what it's about. So we've got those type of guys, and then we got the young players, like Joel, who's come in and he's been superb. Seth, and a few other younger lads that they've got real quality. So yeah, I think as long as we can keep our feet on the ground, just take it one game at a time, then who knows? Hopefully we can push on and finish as high up as we can. Yeah,
well, say it's looking good. So keep this going. A season's a long time, isn't it? We know that there's a lot of games to come, and anything can happen. But it's nice to get a good start. If you have a bad start, it's uphill all the way. So that's good.
And that's it. Obviously, it breeds confidence. I think when you can string a few wins together like we have done, and have a start like we have done. Obviously, the win yesterday against Wales, against a side like that, away from home Monday night, it gives players confidence. So there's no reason why we can't get into the game against Welton. Again, I think they're sitting top of the table undefeated, and give them a good game, and hopefully we can get another 3 points.
Yeah, it's all to play for. It's brilliant. Now, of course, recently you've now got a new role as well. So talk about having many strings to your bow, but you're now working alongside the ladies team and helping them out. So perhaps you'd like to tell us about your role there at the ladies team.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to get into football coaching. I think it's something that I've always thought about. Hopefully I've got a few more years left playing yet before I give it up playing. But yeah, I wanted to get into coaching, and obviously work with Tim. Like his son's a good friend of mine, so I know him quite well. And obviously the opportunity for the role came up. It was quite a hard job for Tim to just do it all on his own. So I sort of just volunteered, really. I said, yeah, if you want me to help out, I can use sort of my knowledge with sort of fitness and all that sort of things, health and fitness wise, to help with the fitness side of things, and also like my knowledge of football. Like, I'm quite passionate about football. I'd like to say I'm fairly knowledgeable, to sort of help him where he needs it. So yeah, so I do a lot of the coaching drills at training, and obviously the warm-ups and things like that. And then Tim sort of he does more of the management stuff and all the admin bits that I probably wouldn't enjoy doing, to be fair. But yeah, it's been good. It's been different. It's my first sort of coaching role within football. So, but it's been a good start so far. So yeah, it's enjoyable.
Well, those Warminster ladies certainly know how to score goals. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm rubbing off a little bit my attacking experience, maybe. But no, yeah, we've had I think we've scored over 30 goals in about 6 games, I think. So yeah, we got some really good players, and they certainly know where the back of the net is.
Well, it was 14 on Sunday, so that's a pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
It
not
was
too
very.
bad on Sunday. Not
I
too
was I
bad.
was commentating on the game on my little YouTube channel there, and I was having a job to remember how many was it now. You start to lose track after a while.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up after the first half. I think I was starting to lose count after sort of half an hour in. But yeah, really good performance.
Yeah, and a clean sheet as well, which is
And a clean sheet. Yeah, so obviously as a defender, me and Tim both said at half time, it's all well and good being 9-0 up or whatever it was at half time. But if we concede a goal, then it doesn't look as good. So, the clean sheet was the main thing for the girls to get, and they got that. So happy days.
brilliant, excellent. Do you see yourself perhaps going for your coaching badges at some time for the future and doing it more professionally?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'd love to do that. I think with the help of the club as well, I'm sure they'll help me out with all of that. So yeah, definitely. Like I said, once I finish playing, sorry, I'd love to still be involved in football because honestly, to be honest, a Saturday without football is pretty boring to me. So yeah, so hopefully I can continue in some form, whether it's playing or whether it's coaching. Anything will do, really.
Yeah, well, I think you've got a fair few more years to go yet before you can hang your boots up officially anyway.
I'd like to think so.
Good, excellent. Okay then, Lou. So that's good. Well, thanks very much for your time in joining us and letting the listeners know a bit more about you. And obviously, we encourage them to come along and watch not just the men's football, but to come and watch the ladies' football as well. Because one thing is certain, I think in the ladies' football I've seen, there's always goals, on both sides. Generally speaking, I know it's a bit more one-sided on the last game we played, but it's certainly entertaining to say the least to watch it. So thank you for that. So
yeah, it definitely is. If you do have, if you do get a chance on a Sunday, then come on down and watch the girls. Obviously, bar's open and it's free, and you get to see goals. So yeah, definitely come on down. It's worthwhile for sure.
Brilliant. Well, Lewis, thanks very much indeed, and hopefully we'll perhaps hear more from you again. Perhaps you might step in for Tim from time to time and give us what's going on at Warminster Town Ladies on the official side as well. That'd be good.
Absolutely, anytime.
Thank you. Once again, my thanks to Lewis Graham there for telling us a little about himself and what he's currently doing at Warminster Town Ladies Football Club. But now it's time to get back to the league reviews with Jamie House. So we're back with Jamie, and we're going to take a look at, first, let's take a look at the league tables if we can, Jamie, then we'll mention the future games.
Okay. Well, we've got Welton Rovers that are currently leading the league. They have played 8. They've won 6, drawn 2, and lost none so far. They're one of only 3 teams, I believe, in the league that have actually still got no defeats on the board. So that's quite the excuse me, quite the statistic there. Ashton and Backwell are currently in second. They've also played 8. They've won 6, drawn 1, and lost 1. Carlton Town are third, having played 6 and won all 6. We are fourth, currently having played 7, won 5, drawn 1, lost 1. And Wincanton, amazingly, round out the top 5 after having a very poor start to the season, although they have played 10 games and they've won 5, drawn 1, and lost 4. So, it's quite nice to see Wincanton back up there after their rather shaky start to the season. But as I say, they have played a lot more games. Well, they have played the most games in the league, actually. And then at the bottom, we have Devizes Town. They've played 7 games. They've lost 6, drawn 1. Then Longwell Green Sports are 19th. Bishops Lydiard at 18th. Oldham Abertonians are 17th. And Sherborne Town in 16th. They round out the bottom 5. So pretty much as you were at the bottom of the league. And the top of the league keeps switching around as, teams have played all sorts of different games. I mean, the games played on the list right now is crazy. There's teams that have played 7, 8, 9, 6, 10. It's a bit all over the place.
It's getting closer. They are beginning to come back a little bit. We had some that only played 1 or 2 for a while.
Yes.
It is getting there. Now, interestingly, the next couple of matches we've got coming up, we've got top and bottom as it stands now. Welton Rovers on Saturday and Devizes Town the
Mhm.
following Saturday. Now,
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Well, Welton Rovers, they're top of the league, so that's going to be a tough game, and it's at their place as well. So that's going to be a tough game, but it's a game we can win. We know we've got the team to beat any team in the league, and as proved last season, we've got the team to beat teams in the league above. So it's going to be a tough game, but it's definitely one we can win. So, and if we do win, I believe we won't go top, but we will be, certainly punching up there with the best of them. So,
and it'll make a dent on Welton very importantly as well. So that would.
It certainly will. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be important.
Yeah. And then Devizes, well, their form isn't great at the moment. Is it at home or away? I can't remember.
We're at home. Yeah.
We're at home. Okay. So yeah, it should be one we're winning. Let's be honest. But you never know. You never know. They're probably still going to give us a good game, and you can't rest on your laurels. You have to go in with a positive attitude and say, "Got to win," because they can always fight back. So yeah.
Well, that's it. You say it's the old banana skin, isn't it? If you go into that thinking, "Oh, we're going to score loads of goals here against this team," be wary, because it's not that long ago Wincanton hadn't won any, and now they're where they are.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, it can suddenly change around in this league quite quickly. It's not like your Premier Leagues and big clubs in other leagues. This can suddenly change. A few players can suddenly come in, and all kinds of things can suddenly happen. So just be wary on that one. We ought to talk about the ladies as well, because they have a game on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So tell us about that.
They do,
one.
Yes, they are away. They are away at Warminster Town Ladies, who have had a fairly good start to the season themselves. I believe they won their opening game something like 12-0 or something. And then they lost to Salisbury, I believe, in their second game. And then they've beaten quite a few teams by pretty big score lines. They beat Ashton Keynes Youth 8-3 this weekend. And they beat Bath City Youth Women 13-2 a couple of weeks ago. So they can certainly score goals, but it looks like they can ship them too. So it's going to be a tough game because it is at their place, but I reckon we can win. I reckon we can win.
Well, good. Well, we'll hope to bring that to everybody on our YouTube channel as well. So we will be live for both Welton Rovers and Melksham Ladies. So a weekend of football on YouTube. Anybody would like to watch, please do so. And so it's great, really, to have two teams in the centre. We mustn't forget the reserves as well. Of course, we forget to mention them from time to time. But of course, having Warminster Town Ladies now is quite a kudos, really, for the club, isn't it? It's good. It's good publicity, as well as having that ability to attract more women to football locally. So long may that continue, I say.
Certainly is.
Excellent. Well, Jamie, once again, thank you very much for joining us on the League Roundup and reviewing the tables for us. We'll see you on Saturday, and let's see how Warminster Town get on. And, of course, also on Sunday at Melksham Town Ladies. Thanks very much. Well, there goes the final whistle, and that brings this week's podcast to an end. We've hoped you enjoyed the Warminster Town Football Club supporter podcast. So before you go, if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe using your favourite platform. Thanks for listening.